Alright, I think we're live. We're playing some video games here. We've got Ernest and Christoph of Crazy Into Brains here, hanging out after their show last night with Gorgo Bordello here, which, if you saw, included someone who actually has music in this video game, Mega Ran. And you guys did a track with, it was a remix track.
A remix, yeah. His song, Tractor Beam.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how fun was that? Working with Mega Ran.
Yeah.
Was it all in the same space, or did you guys send...
No, we actually were talking about that yesterday. The next time we do something together, we want to get in the studio together, like live in person. But this was one of those scenarios where I recorded in Brooklyn and sent it over to him. But it was fun, like it's cool to be on a song together. It was cool to play live, I feel like, right? Yeah. Last night, that was cool.
So that'd be the first time? Because
we didn't.
Mega Ran lives here, so when he's not on tour.
We didn't even rehearse that. We just kind of went for it, But he's a pro, and he killed it.
We played a show with him right before.
Yeah.
We left for tour in New York, so like a week before tour.
Mm-hmm.
We just played Brooklyn with him. That was really rad. A lot of his fans came out and like checked us out, so that was awesome. So.
Oh, and I sang Tractor Beam with him live that night. So, this is like our.
Is there a recording of this? I mean, other than the.
Yeah.
There's video.
There's definitely some videos of that. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool, man. Like he's a very cool dude.
Vanessa Akil? Heartness and saying, "Hi."
Yo, what up?
Hello.
Also, we can jump into this. Who's your mains in here? Oh, I see someone's been leveling up the Leonardo.
I play the Leonardo at home.
Which guy am I? What do I have to press?
No, just press up and down on the...
A is your...
Oh,
yeah.
You're in the middle.
Hell yeah.
No, I'll go with the party, dude. I'll be Mikey.
I'm picking down the television.
Oops. Hit the plus button again.
Damn. Wait. Okay.
Get Donnie. Get a little Casey Jones in there.
I'm going to be Casey Jones and be a little different.
I mean, you gotta level him up, right? He's at 0. The way this game works. Yeah. And then, is it just, I think you hit A. So we're gonna be playing some Shredder's Revenge for the game that, speaking of Mega Ran, we can go full screen here.
Mega Ran is featured in this game. He's boss music later on in the game.
Shout out.
And also, I should plug everything. Patreon.com/EveryShowJo to support. Also, if you're watching on Twitch Live, you can also subscribe and all the fun stuff Twitch lets you do.
Ooh.
And this will later show up on the Concerts Consoles podcast feed as an audio version and on YouTube.com/EveryShowJo for all the housekeeping.
Hell yes.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, so that's really cool. And Mega Ran, one of my favorites.
Yeah, man.
And I technically can call him a local. He lives here. He's a favorite local musician. He was just doing his 4-Eyed Horseman stream on Saturday.
Yeah, we linked up with him, and we also linked up with Robbie from Playboy Man.
Wait, so did he sing on the same song last night?
So, Robbie came out on People Who Died. And,
cool.
He sang the chorus with us. And then, Mega Ran, he spit a verse during our song Hustling. So we got the...
Which brings up another question. How did you guys... That is an awesome cover, by the way.
Which one? People Who Died?
Yeah, how did you end up being like, this is a song we've got to put on the album?
Man, I think it's just when a song, like, sticks with one of us for a long time. And, like, that was just a song I had been listening to, like, a lot over the years. And I was just like, yo, we should try this. We try a lot of, like, we'll go through a lot of covers that don't make the cut. Like, remember we recovered the Specials for a while, but we never played it live.
We did. What we sometimes like to do is play covers once.
Yeah.
Not really practice them, play them once at the start of their set. So if they're terrible, people forget about them immediately. But if they're good, we'll turn them into something and
go on the reception of the crowd.
Yeah, and also just how we feel about it. Cause like I always say this, like I don't want to do a cover just to do it. Like I don't want to sound like a cover band. Like whatever, if we're gonna do a cover, we need to add to the legacy of the song. And if we nail that, then we keep it. If not, we get rid of it. I think for a minute we were covering The Harder They Come, remember? And that wasn't really hitting. But yeah, People Who Died has been with us for a minute now. It's on that album, Into the Ugly. And honestly, we're kind of getting bored of it, to keep it 1,000. But like...
But that's more so because we're also covering another song, Punk Rocker, live these days.
Yeah.
And like, that's been just our jam and our vibe.
Yeah.
Recently.
We're way more like excited about that one.
But we know people love People Who Died. People always like go off on that song, so like we're gonna have to keep playing it.
It's a very catchy song too.
You know, a lot of people have covered it.
I feel like I'm more familiar with the covers than I am the original.
The original is very long, so we kind of stripped it down, and I added my own verse. But it kind of got popular again because it was in that movie Suicide Squad or something like that.
I think that.
One of those
right.
Marvel movies.
If not, people in chat can totally correct us.
Yeah, somebody out there probably knows what the hell I'm talking about. But.
Guar covered it after the singer died too.
Yeah.
And so they sang Odorous died.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Oh, they applied it to the context of their band.
A lot of people, it resonates with people, man, because everyone's lost somebody to in one way or another, you know. And so many shows, people come up to us in tears and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you covered that!" Like,
it means so much to me. I think about this person, yeah.
Even if we're bored of it, like, it's less about us and it's more about what it means to other people, you know. We never practice it. Like,
no.
In rehearsal, that song gets skipped over so hard.
Strictly not rehearsed.
That is awesome though that it connects with people.
Yeah, man, and I like to think that Jim Carroll is pleased with our version of it, because he's definitely like a big influence in that whole era of punk. You know, like him and Patti Smith, like the punk rockers that were like a little bit more like poetic and come from that. Oh, what the fuck was that?
Actually, it was just Halloween a few days ago, and there were a lot of Jack Terricloth kind of celebrations
R.I.P.
and concerts.
That's a poet right there, man.
I contributed to the Patreon for that. I'm like, I know I can't travel across the country to get to your show, but
yeah,
want to support.
We played a show with him once, and he really took to our cover of People Who Died, and he had a really long conversation with you, Chris.
Yeah.
One night about it.
Yeah, he I think it was the first time we opened for World Inferno. He kicked everybody out of the green room, and he was like, "Yo, the singers need to have a conversation." And me and him talked for like over an hour, just about like just performing and lyrics and like poetry and all types of cool shit. And he was crushing like at least 2 bottles of wine.
Holy crap!
And
I mean,
it was a good time.
I guess that's no Lemmy.
Yeah. Lemmy's on another level, I guess. But
that's a lot of wine.
nah, it was a great time. And at that time, we were fans of the. Yeah, so we just won. Nice. We were fans of them, but we didn't really. We didn't know them personally that well yet. So it was cool to like have that moment with him.
I mean, say the first time I saw him was a show here. They played with Culture Shock, which
cool.
was freaking rad. But it was like, I didn't know what I was in for, and I'm like, this kind of goes into you guys a little bit. They're considered punk rock, but they're not your traditional punk rock sound, noise sound. And I was just like, at first I'm like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, these lyrics, this is totally in line with the show and the meaning.
Oh yeah.
And he was an amazing frontman.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was. I mean, they were one of those bands that like you didn't just like them, like you loved them.
There's
they had a cult.
someone. What's his name? I forgot his real name. I know his Twitter handle, Bombshell. He was the artist that did Night in the Woods art, but he also did some art for that band. And when he passed, posted after a little bit of a very emotional tweet about how much Jack did for him and brought him out. And I'm like, he touched a lot of people.
A lot of people loved Jack, and they loved that band, and that was such a tragedy.
Yeah, I'm like, we're all like super grateful to get the opportunity to meet and work with the artists that we do, like Will Inferno, even like right now, Gogo Bordello, like.
Which is amazing, and another like non-traditional punk rock. I mean,
these are the bands that resonate with us the most, and it's just it's still like a trip to us to think that we're like get to meet and hang out with these people, like.
And Gogo Bordello, I have to thank, and their documentary, because I was at least coming out of my teenage years, the normal punk elite. Protect that one stupid sound that is punk rock, then someone's like, no, Gogo Bordello is punk rock. Go watch the doc. I'm like, all right, fine. And then I watched it. I'm like, oh, I'm starting to understand. And I thankfully broke out of the whole punk elite phase of my life.
That was the goal from day one with us. It's like we're not trying to replicate the sound that has already been like done a million times. I mean, like. We like all that stuff, like we're influenced by that, but I think...
And inspired by it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think, what made those bands great, the early punk movement, was that there was no rules.
They're doing their own thing.
Yeah, and like Gogo Bordello is a great example of that. World Inferno, I mean, the list goes on, and that's always been our goal, is like, let's make this our own. You know what I mean? Let's make this as authentic to us as we possibly can, and not just replicate some blueprint,
And also, Booyakasha from Herberyard 999.
Hey yo, what up?
And thank you for the sub, Mr. Buzzo.
Yeah.
To break the fourth wall of we're Twitch streaming. But that is awesome, and also I think that brings up some of the most creative elements of music.
Oh yeah.
I wish more people would get out of that bubble.
I mean, everything. I know. Okay, this game is like a remake, right? So this is but this game rules. But like everything is a remake these days. Everything is a carbon copy of something else.
Well, don't they say there's no original like chords or original?
Yeah, but you
sounds.
gotta at least try. Like, and I think with music, it's easy to just fall into like this kind of laziness where it's just like you're just gonna replicate what's already done.
You like RKL and become the next NoFX.
Yeah. I mean, like, actually, I don't know that band. RKL.
Rich Kids on LSD.
Isn't that a band that Fat Mike like loves?
Oh yeah, he will unabashedly tell you NoFX ripped off them.
Yeah.
And without them, they wouldn't be there.
Yeah, I mean. Listen, there's a lot of like really cool bands out there that were inspired by the original.
And that's awesome because without the inspiration, people wouldn't be doing it. Well, most people wouldn't be. But then making it your own is where it goes.
I mean, otherwise, what's the point?
Level.
There's no fun in that. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I mean, watching Gogo Bordello like every night, we've seen like 10 of their sets. In the last 2 weeks, it's like, they've got the parts that resemble a hardcore show.
Right.
They've got the parts that resemble just a classic punk band rocking out on stage, but then they also have like elements of Broadway play, and they kind of have this theater thing going on, and it's so engrossing, and they're amazing because they play for 2 hours. And you want to watch the 2 hours.
Yeah,
you want to pay attention.
And you're on tour with them, so you're still like saying this.
Oh yeah, man.
You're like, I'm gonna hang out here still and watch.
Yeah, man. We I think we've already, even in this 2 weeks, we've already taken inspiration from them. Their live show, like the way, the dynamics of the show, how you have like these soft moments and then these really fucking you know, like aggressive moments, and it's just it's a legit show. You know, it's not just 3-chord punk for 30 minutes in and out, which that's cool too.
And it's about Eugene, right?
Yeah.
He was on the latest, or not the latest, second latest, third latest? He was on In Defense of Ska talking about it. And hearing Aaron Carnes point out how, like, their current drummer played with some ska, and the new album, I was even listening to it, and it was like, after Aaron pointed out, noticing it more, but, like, there's ska sounds even incorporated. Like, he is still evolving their sound.
Yeah, Corey, he was in Hepcat and he was in the Agrolites.
Right.
He told me that.
Oops, I'm on Corner of Night.
The other night, and I was blown away because I love both those bands. He's an amazing drummer, and
he's a really humble guy too, because he was casually just like, yeah, I've played in some bands.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, what bands? Like, I'm thinking like, just curious, like, what, probably just bands I never heard of, and he's like Hepcat and Agrolites. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I love these bands.
How'd you end up here?
We're just hanging out with him, and it's like, yo, you know, those are some of the most like really top influential bands in that genre.
Yes. And of course, the elephant in the room that probably gets brought up to you all the time about your unique sound is that xylophone.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I read a story that it came out of how the band started. That you and this
Jeff.
is why I have notes.
Jeff was the xylophone player. Yeah.
You guys kind of got bailed on, and then the xylophone kind of was inherited, I think is a word we can use.
Yeah, someone probably put it that way. I mean, he stole it from his high school. That's what happened.
There you go.
But yeah, you know, that the choice to have a oh shit, we're on skateboards now. What the hell? The choice to have a xylophone in the beginning of the group was just what we were talking about before. It was our attempt at trying to do something unique, you know, like instead of, I mean, I was just a guy with a guitar in the beginning, right? And I'm like, how many fucking wannabe Bob Dylans are there out there? Like, I don't want to be that. I love Bob Dylan. We were just listening to him in the band.
Just like Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen, yeah.
You don't need to mimic them, but they're awesome.
I wanna dig a little deeper and try to not take the easy route and just be a dude with a guitar, because that's how it originally started. It was just me and guitar. When Jeff came into the mix, he was a drummer. I'm like,
Now you actually are also kind of from it. Is that where Ernest comes in and like took over the guitar part?
Well, Ernest came in and took over guitar duties in like, what was it, 2015?
2015.
2016, something like that.
Interesting thing about that,
Yeah.
you asked me to join the band a year before, and I was just starting my own project, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to be able to do this. But then somehow you thought of me a year later.
Yes.
And I think I was ready then, and it was like, yeah, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have been evolving since day one. Like I said, it started with just me. Then we added Jeff with the xylophone. Then we switched out me on guitar to Ernest on guitar, and like then we switched out xylophone, and now we have keyboards. Like, and it's kind of just a continuation of that spirit that we were just talking about, of just like pushing the limits, you know what I mean, and digging deep, and just, you know.
Wait. Oops, wrong button. Didn't need to dance on your grave.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll be back.
But yeah, man, that was a creative choice, you know. And
wait, so how old is the band too?
our first album came out in 2013. So
okay.
So yeah, we've been around.
Because I first saw you in 2018 on tour with Days and Days.
Yeah.
First at Club Red, then at Punk Rock Bowling. Like within the span of like 2 days, 3 days, you were on the main stage when I caught you.
Yeah, man. I think the early years, well, you know, this band came up in the open mic scene. So in the early years, we played a lot of shows in like the Lower East Side and Brooklyn and parties and whatnot. And we toured a bit, but I think touring really picked up, I would say, in the past few years.
2018.
I mean, it's
since
what
2018.
if people don't know, it's still an investment, even especially the smaller you are.
Yeah.
So you have to be able, and if you're working jobs, you got to figure out time to get around it and hopefully keep them when you get back.
Yeah, and I think we started recording. We started recording more regularly. We started working with Pete from the Bouncing Souls.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Yeah. He's recorded. Man, how many albums? Like,
Oh no.
probably like our last 3.
We'll make it.
He probably recorded our last 3 albums. We're recording with him right now, actually.
One of the perks of you guys being on the East Coast is you get to see them and talk and interact with them more.
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
We grew up seeing the Bouncing Souls live and listening to records and shit. So it's like to get the opportunity to work with him was insane. You know, like still is. I mean, I text with those dudes like pretty regularly, and still sometimes I'm like, damn, these are my friends now. Like, this is crazy.
That is amazing. The Jersey connection, right? You guys are all out of.
Yeah, they're from New Jersey. Yeah,
They're from they're kind of based out of Asbury Park.
Yeah.
Very popular destination for every concert I see that's Jersey.
Yeah, we've played a lot of shows in Asbury Park. Before Punk Rock Bowling came knocking, like we would play parties and just like little clubs in Asbury because the music scene over there is pretty lit. So yeah, man, people sometimes sleep on Jersey, but there's some good stuff going on.
Relay Manifesto's out of there too, right?
Probably. I don't know. I'm not really like up on like that type
we
of
got
style
comments.
music. You got a comment?
Where's Streetlight Manifesto?
We got Shadow Pain 69 saying how we're doing. I'm doing good. I am actually doing better than I expected to be right now. So that'll probably wear off. You guys, is this an off day? You guys are.
Yeah, we're off today.
Hanging out in Phoenix.
Chilling.
And then also we have Holly Ranch asking where's Rob and Zach.
Rob is in the gym, and Zach is sleeping right now.
Rob is in the gym. His puny ass is not lifting weights.
Oops.
Oh man. Yeah, Zach is probably getting drunk at a bar. Or something.
They're getting massages.
I mean, it's
They're
noon.
at a spa.
It's noon. It's early enough.
It's early enough.
Actually, I've drank earlier than that at Punk Rock Bowling.
There you go. Yeah, they were too cool to come, so you know. They should. Honestly, Rob should be here. He's the one who plays video games. I don't even play video games, to be honest.
It's thrown out there as a fun thing I can do with the interviews.
No, it's cool. I remember this game from back in the day. I loved it. The arcade game.
But yeah, Jersey though. You were talking about the scene there and how awesome it is. So is it like Fremont? Is it just a stretch of clubs, or is it?
No. You know,
not at all.
it's pretty spread out. Like, we used to run a club. You mentioned the Interrupters and Bad Cop earlier before we started.
Off
right?
camera, yeah. Or
So,
on
like,
before stream.
we used to run a club around the block from my apartment in Jersey City. It was called the Fun House, and we had Bad Cop come through there. We had Negative Approach come through there. We had the singer from Neurosis. We played any show we put on. We played
Because it's your space.
It's our club. So like that was like kind of the coolest club. At least in North Jersey. For a minute.
we literally had some of our heroes.
Yeah, Bouncing Souls. Well, Bouncing Souls didn't play, but Pete's side band played. Called Small Talk. Casualties were over there. I mean, it was lit for
Another
a while.
East Coast staple.
Yeah, but that was in Jersey City, and that was kind of the only cool spot in Jersey City for a minute. If you wanted to go to a punk show somewhere else, you'd probably have to drive like an hour, go to Asbury, or what else was cool?
I mean, you can obviously go to the city, but Jersey's got a couple of good venues. There's Crossroads and Garwood. That spot is great. We've played there. Right now, there's White Eagle Hall in Jersey City. That's super cool to see shows at.
We both came up separately, playing shows at the same club. This place called the Meat Locker. That was in Montclair, New Jersey. That's where actually, I don't know if you know this band, but we love them. Shout out to these guys. Horror. They came up playing the Meat Locker. They're huge right now.
They've
play
opened
with,
up for Korn.
Korn, Slipknot, Travis Barker, Tim Armstrong. Like they're really like blowing up, and they're fucking great. And they come from Jersey. So yeah, Jersey. I don't know. Like we don't really. I don't feel like we identify as like a Jersey band, but
Well, especially the more you're on the road, you probably are.
I mean, some people like they make where they're from their whole identity, and I just don't think we're a little bit different.
I mean, I wouldn't have known unless I looked it up.
But with that being said, like, I think I know we're proud of where we come from. Damn, am I falling in this hole again? No, here we go.
Who needs the help?
We're proud of where we come from, and like, yeah, like, there is a cool scene over there. You know, it's just you got to be willing to, you know, make the trek over there. But,
We also eat a lot of pizza.
Is this actually true?
Jersey.
Or is it turtle related?
I will say.
No, this we had the first few nights of this tour. We had like pizza after show like 7 times in a row.
Our love
No
of
joke.
pizza is definitely
Wait,
Jersey
so
influence.
You should run a pizza blog. You have favorites, locations in the country to eat pizza?
Well, I think we all agree that Jersey pizza is better than New York. So shots fired, yo. But
what's the difference?
Meet me at Joe's in Bayonne, New Jersey.
what's the difference? Honestly, I think Jersey puts a little bit more love into that sauce, and we just got the right touch, man. Come to Jersey, and I'll take you to some nice pizza spots. We've been getting pizza every night. After the show, like there'll be 2 boxes of pizza waiting for us in the green room,
and we absolutely crush it.
and we destroy it every night.
We could have eaten dinner like an hour ago. Oh, we gotta eat pizza. It's not even an option to
No,
not
we have
eat
to
it.
eat it.
This is premeditated then, because you have some of those places may not be open when you're done.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that kind of trips us out on the road is like back home, you can get pizza till like 3 a.m. sometimes 4 a.m. and we're just used to that. Like post show, like all right, I'm gonna get a slice. And out here, that's
Not out here.
That's not possible. Everything is hard closed. And we start fucking getting anxiety and shit. We're like, yo, I need pizza.
And then, of course, when we have a day off, we try as hard as possible to get an Italian dinner.
Oh yeah, man. We went to some crazy spot that Ernest found. It was called Luigi's. It was on the side of the road. Where were we?
Oh, in Texas, but like
There's a lot of things off the road there.
rural northern Texas above Dallas.
Yeah. So we ordered a bunch of
Luigi's.
Shout out to Luigi's.
Iconic.
We ordered a bunch of classic, you know, dishes. Eggplant parm. I think somebody got.
Oh, the bruschetta.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know what bruschetta is, right?
Yes.
So you know how it usually comes in like these little single cut pieces of Italian bread. You got the tomatoes, the onions, whatever, what have you. They gave us this long loaf of bread with like huge chunks of tomatoes on top and like barely melted cheese. It kind of looked like they kind of like displayed it almost like you would like a chicken parm sandwich.
It was.
Chicken
Here's the
parm
thing.
sandwich.
It was not bruschetta.
It wasn't
It was
bruschetta.
so good though.
But we
was
ate that
delicious.
whole thing easily. I remember this dude from. I had the toy of this guy. What's this guy's name?
One's ground chuck and I forget what the other
Dirtbag.
Oh, they're on the bottom, yeah.
The guy with the horns. Yeah. I'm getting laid out.
I think ground chuck stuck out because we were talking about food. It was like, huh. I can't wait to get these 2 games for Christmas. And your Olive Garden visit looked rad
Yes.
as fuck.
We
Oh,
went
yeah,
to
we went to
Olive
Olive
Garden.
As I get
Yeah. My sister got me an Olive Garden gift card. My mom was very upset because she considers that sacrilegious as an Italian to enjoy the Olive Garden. But
everyone's family there.
Everyone's family. They actually treated us really good. The thing about Olive Garden is it's very consistent.
Yeah, whether you're in New York, New Jersey,
Texas.
Texas, Ohio,
It's all made the same.
Olive Garden, you're always gonna have a good time at Olive Garden.
We even got a bottle of wine.
When are we gonna get that Olive Garden sponsorship?
Dude.
We need everybody out there
Did you run into Jeff Rosenstock at Olive Garden?
to start messaging
No.
Olive Garden.
Does he like Olive Garden? Jeff
Run those
Rosenstock?
numbers up for us.
Yeah, please get us to Olive Garden. Honestly,
say,
we'll probably get
does
fat
he?
if we do that.
Now I'm trying to think what I've watched of his social media.
Dude, it's consistent, and it's not even that expensive.
And he made the move to LA.
Oh, Jeff Rosenstock?
Yeah.
Did we ever play with him? I feel like we did. Did we open for him once?
He's another one of those, like, not your traditional punk rock sound. And
Yeah. He comes from, what was that name? Van Bomb, the music industry,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
and then also Arrogant Sons of Bitches. It was a ska punk band.
I saw that band a billion times because the girl I was dating loved
I'm jealous.
them and loved ska. And to be honest, I didn't really fuck with ska that much. But I was always at these shows. I saw them. I saw the band you mentioned before, Streetlight Manifesto.
Yes.
Um,
They die. Oh, okay.
who else? Cat Stoney too. I think that was.
That
like-
predates, yeah, that's Tokay and his prior band.
Yeah.
That still is continuing without him.
I was. There was this place in Long Island called the Downtown that did a lot of ska shows. I guess they did punk shows too, but I was always at the ska shows. And
There
yeah.
we go.
Is this guy laid out already? I'm done with this.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Also,
You can't beat unlimited breadsticks. Absolutely.
the Tina
Yes.
is saying can't beat the unlimited breadsticks at
Facts.
Olive Garden. Going back to that. You can't.
No, you cannot.
And that Sonic the Hedgehog movie cemented my thoughts of always remembering Olive Garden.
Hell yeah.
If you watch that at all. There's so much Olive Garden in that movie.
The Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
Yes, the first one. They
I saw that movie, but I don't remember Olive Garden. Maybe it wasn't good enough to remember, honestly.
that's fair too.
Jim Carrey, though.
He
tore
plays
it
a
up.
good Robotnik.
He tore it up in that movie. Here we
Or
go.
Eggman, or whatever name you know him as.
I always knew him as Dr. Robotnik. Yeah.
Because that's what he was on all the cartoons.
Yeah.
And
Is there a new one coming out? There's a new one.
there's one coming to Netflix.
With Knuckles, right? Knuckles. is
Oh,
in
there's
it?
also going to be a Knuckles side show.
And
Or
Tails
is it movie?
Tails is gonna be in it too.
Ska and Ska adjacent.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Talking about ska, a lot of people like will link us to like ska bands or like
You'd be
consider
appropriate.
us ska or like throw us in that category, and I'm like, we're really not a ska band in any
Yeah.
way.
Actually,
But I think, you know, we grew up listening to like the early shit, right?
it's
Like-
because you're such a different sound than the normal.
yeah, and we do those rhythms sometimes, but we don't go full blown ska, right? Like,
Actually, you mentioned Robbie of Playboy Man Baby, either on or off stream, but sang with you last night.
Yeah.
That was on stream. But Playboy Man Baby is another band where, because they have horns, people are like, "Oh, you're a ska band," and I'm
Right.
like, "Fuck no, we're not a ska band."
yeah,
No, they're not a ska band at all. We were listening to them in the van the other day, and it was
Yeah.
like, oh, I mean, we saw them a year ago.
you played with them.
Yeah,
actually.
the club show at Punk Rock Village.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're not ska at all. But I
Yeah.
think
It comes up though, and some
Yeah.
people just they think certain sounds or different sounds.
they
They're like,
just hear the horns and they jump to ska. But
oops.
same with Go-Go. We're talking about them, right? Like they
Yeah.
do those reggae ska type rhythms here and there. But you know, I wouldn't necessarily call them ska, man. But you know, that's why genres honestly are fucking pointless.
They are pointless. I've learned
Right.
that as I've gotten older.
Anytime people are like, "What kind of music you play?" I'm like, just listen to it. you
I
know,
have to
because-
use, but we have to use it for like social media. Be like, all right, how do we get this to go into some category?
Well, that's just people love to categorize things, right? Like that's just how our minds work. We need to put it in some type of box, but it's like, I mean, I don't know how to describe what we do. It is what it is, you know. Like,
But some of my favorite music that's come out in the last 5 years, is like it's not adhering to here's strictly ska or here's strictly this. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, we're mixing this and this, and I'm like, oh, this sounds awesome. And I would have never thought of that.
that just reminded me. this kid, right? We played a show the other night, and literally like less than 5 minutes after the set, I get a message on Instagram from a kid who just saw, so he's probably still at the show, and he's like, "Yo, man, just caught the set. Not into it. I don't really know what you guys are trying to do here. Like, pick a lane. You're trying to do hip hop and punk." And I just look at it, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I was gonna respond, but I'm like, this is not worth my fucking time. Because it's like, dude, music, that's the beauty of music and art. It's like, there's supposed to be no limits. You know, there's no limits. We actually have a song we're about to drop. It's called No Limit. But like, you're missing the point. Like, if you're gonna cling so desperately to these rigid like guidelines and this rule book, it's like just follow what feels good and don't think about it too much. Like, genres are not for us. That's for the algorithm. That's for the marketing teams and the Spotify and all that. Like, it's useless to us. We don't need to be categorized. I mean, obviously punk rock is what raised us, and that's, you know, that's the culture that means everything to us. But like, when people like will throw at you like, "Oh, you're not punk," it's like, sure, go ahead, that's fine. You want to think that, by all means. Like, it's art at the end of the day.
It's funny that people want to still do that in this day and age, and I feel like
right.
More the younger audience, maybe under 30. I don't know where I put it. 25.
Everybody's guilty of it, you know. Like,
oh no, I mean, they're a little more receptive to being open to more people.
Yeah,
it
depends, man. Like, but I think
that's
people
true. There's still like those crust punks that are like, "Nope, you're not punk. Fuck off."
Overall, people. What's this guy's name? The Rat King? Or something?
Yes.
Overall, people are very accepting of what we do. I gotta acknowledge that. Like, I feel like we're always, like, for the most part, welcome with open arms, no matter who we play with. Because we played with. I mean, dude, remember the first time playing with Negative Approach? That was probably the first time in a long time I got a little intimidated, because I'm like, yo, I don't think we're hard enough for this.
This is a hard band.
I mean,
this is gonna be a really tough crowd, and
and he's just like screaming, or what do you want to call it?
I just remember that crowd wearing like leather gloves and being like, "All right, these guys are really like going to throw down."
We weren't sure how they were going to take us, because while yes, we love hardcore and that's an influence of ours, we're obviously not as aggressive as like a Negative Approach. But the first time we played with them, the crowd accepted us and they loved us. And not only did the crowd accept us, but the band did. And we went on tour with them, and I mean, bro, they took us under their wing like we were their grandchildren, and it was really cool.
It's awesome because they're a fun band to watch. As long as the last time I caught them, I forgot what they sounded like, and it was like, right, this is Negative Approach. Totally was not in my brain. That was what I was going to be hearing.
They're such a consistent band. Like, probably one of the most consistent bands I've ever seen. They show up and do the same thing every night, and they never skip a beat.
Learned a lot from them.
Oh yeah.
Just seeing the way they like handle themselves before and after shows, and the way they approach like the whole music thing of like, now we're here, we're doing it now. Like,
yeah, they're very in the moment people. Like, they're not worried about yesterday or tomorrow. They're just here.
And that's great to see. So they're super cool. We love Negative Approach.
Yeah, shout out to
catch up on the chat here. We want Drew Carey to be in the next Sonic film as Jim Carrey's brother. Ska punk means a lot to people, means anything not straight ahead punk. What? Wait, did I misread that? Ska punk to a lot of people means anything not straight punk.
Ah, I got you. Yeah, that's true.
As I get beat up here. Isn't Streetlight? Yeah, Streetlight is from Jersey.
Yeah, they probably
Go-Go does a lot of dub songs too.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Yeah, that influence is very heavy in the music.
Got beat up not paying attention.
Yeah, we're reading comments instead of fighting the Rat King.
Hello, what feels good if I want to listen to Frank Zappa, Pantera, and the Grateful Dead? That's what I'm gonna do.
Hell yeah,
Latina.
It's funny because, to keep it 100, like, early on, when I first got into punk, there was a lot of bands that I discarded, or artists that I neglected because I was like, nah, this ain't punk. And then you get older, and you realize, like, fuck that.
Well, I've been actually
music.
recently. I guess I'm gonna just keep referring to Jersey bands. This is a coincidence. I listened to the audio version of Dan Ozzi's book Sellout and talked about My Chemical Romance, and I'm like,
Yep.
all right, this sounds cool. What they went through. I'm gonna listen to them finally, not just the radio hits. And I'm like, there's influences from like indie rock, from like
They're a good
so
band,
much
man.
different genre that I'm like, this I wouldn't even
They're a very good band.
call it emo. I would just be like, this is them taking what they loved and putting it all together.
They were incredible. I saw My Chemical Romance. I think they opened up for Thursday or AFI at Starland Ballroom.
Tinier than.
And this is like 2000, 2001? No, maybe like 2002 or 3. And it was like, wow, this band is rad. I never heard of them. And they just put on such a high energy show. And then a year later, I went to high school and people were like trashing that band. And it was like, whoa, what is this? This band is kind of awesome.
Yeah. Because if you're punk, right?
It's not in your wheelhouse.
You need to turn your back on anything that is considered emo or metal or this or that, because
Yes.
like you're so dedicated and committed to your tribe or your group, but
Yeah, it is tribalism.
all that is whack and all that is corny. And once you get a little older, hopefully you leave all that behind and you embrace music just based on its content, you know what I mean, and its heart and its soul, and like.
How many punk musicians become folk musicians in their 40s?
Why am I just laying on the floor? Is my guy gonna get up or what?
Oh, we're done.
Oh, we're out of lives. Am I the only one?
Well, don't just leave him there. He looks that's messed up. Someone's got to take him to the hospital.
Let's see if I can. Oh my gosh. Go away.
Yeah, my Chemical Romance rules. Actually, we owe the guitar player a very large apology.
The
because
Frank?
Frank, he ordered a bunch of merch from us. And we were like, oh shit, this is awesome. This guy fucks with us. And we sent it out and it got lost in the mail, I think. And he never got
He never got his merch.
Sorry, bro.
When you stiff the man from My Chemical Romance.
I think
Well,
we
then,
gave him a
but
refund, but he wasn't. I think he was kind of.
He's in a few bands.
Yeah.
Frank, yeah, he was actually just recently featured on the last Hers album.
He's awesome. He's I think he's considered the hot one. But, yeah.
Someone in chat just saw the opposite Thursday opening up for MCO. That's awesome. Times change.
They just played together. We actually met the singer at Thursday recently. And he actually knew who we were, and we were blown away by that.
They came through recently. I think they had Radkey with them on a tour.
Okay.
Or am I
They're
crossing
from Jersey,
wires?
you know that. They're from,
Are they too?
Yeah,
They're also
I'm
from
just going to
Jersey.
coincidentally bring up Jersey bands now.
yeah, man, they're from New Jersey.
That's another band that I saw small, and they've been like blowing up, or at least they've been getting on big tours. And
I feel
Foo
like,
Fighters brought them on a tour. Offspring brought them on a tour.
yeah, man.
What's your dream artist you haven't toured with yet?
Maybe Rancid, The Interrupters. Who else?
I'm going right for the top. I'm gonna say Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop. Yeah.
I really want to play a show with Iggy Pop.
Well, we are. A
We
tour
are.
would be amazing.
We are, but I want to right now.
That's super cool.
No, we are. So we're gonna be in the Dominican Republic in January at Destination Chaos. Shout out to everybody who's playing that. We're gonna be there with Shame from England,
Guns N'
who are
Roses, man.
awesome.
Yeah, me and Ernest saw Shane the other night, actually.
That was a band that Punk Rock Bowling 5 years ago. They played a club show, but I was at another one. But a friend texted me like, "No, you got to check them out when they play tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay," and they go all out.
They're cool as hell.
They were very good. We saw them with Viagra Boys
Yep.
like a few days before we left for tour.
You know, I think we were talking about this. We want to play shows with more rappers.
So Megaran,
Megaran, yeah, like honestly, like Tyler the Creator, like like dudes from Odd Future. I feel like that could be cool. I think the coolest shows are shows that are not like stuck to just one genre, right? You could have like a ska band and a punk band and a hip hop artist or an acoustic
It should
act.
be that way.
You don't need 3 punk bands. You don't need 3 metal bands. Like, switch the style up.
So the hip hop part is something still being struggled with because there's a local band here, Dadado in the POC. They are like garage rocky, punk rock, and hip hop, and I'm like, this is one of the best bands here in Phoenix.
Hell yeah.
But they don't get put on punk rock bills, and it's still that stereotype.
People, like we were just saying before, man, people are still afraid to, like, step
Accept it.
outside of, like, what's considered normal. I mean, dude, like, we like, when we do our own shows and, like, our own album releases or whatever, we'll always throw rappers on the bill or, like, DJs, and, like, sometimes, more in the early days, we get pushback from, like, promoters, like, what's this? This don't make sense. I'm like, man, shut your mouth. This is our show. Like,
We want to sell tickets. We don't care about who's on your show.
Yeah. They'll, like, trip out on, like, the bill not making sense, and I'm like, it doesn't need to make sense. It just needs to be fun. It just needs to be cool.
Make it fun for the audience, and
Yeah.
hopefully you've introduced 1 or 2 people to something new that they're like, oh, let me go grab that album.
Yeah. We even, I mean, we experimented. Sometimes it didn't work, but, like, remember we would have, like, comedians at our shows.
That still occasionally happens even in stuff I've seen.
It doesn't always work, but I mean, I'll give us props for, like, trying it. You know what I mean? Like,
Is it more like a pacing thing? Like you can't just throw them in the middle after everyone
yeah,
was
I think
in the
comedians.
circle pit?
That's not easy to win over a crowd that is ready for music, and then you come out and you're telling jokes. That's a lot to be responsible for. You know, I mean,
That goes back to the open mic thing, right?
Yeah.
Open mic can be a comedy, it can be someone playing.
Oh, that's what it was coming up. You know, sometimes I would play in between, like, 2 comics, and a comic kills. You know, people love it, and I go up there and I'm, like, singing songs about, like.
It's a good way to network, and it's a good way to just get comfortable in front of people.
1,000%. That's the open mic scene molded me as a performer, to be honest, because I never get stage fright or anything like that, because I mean, I basically crafted songs in front of an audience. I would show up to open mics with songs, like, not even really fully written. I'd be a little drunk, and I'd just play songs in front of people, and I'd figure out what works and what doesn't. Are we beating the game right now?
No, we're not there yet. We're gonna fight this VR lady.
I thought we were about to fight straight.
Tempestra. Dinosaur Jr. and Guided by Voices are touring with Eugene Merman.
Cool. Get us on that tour.
Dinosaur Jr. Who's the guitar player from Dinosaur Jr.? Jay Mascis.
Oh, yeah, we met him.
His favorite band is Negative Approach. I watched Jay Mascis play a Negative Approach set with Negative Approach.
3 Degrees to Negative Approach.
Yeah, dude. He was in our green room, remember?
Yeah.
Jay Mascis.
Eugene Merman. Freaking.
I literally just shook his hand and no words were spoken.
Sometimes that's still nice, though.
He was, like, very in the zone, and,
When you
like,
meet your idol, or one of your idols.
he's not my idol.
Oh, you're just like cool to me.
No, he's cool. I respect him. He was like, it was one of those moments where you could tell everyone in the room was, like, staring at him and wanted to talk to him. And I was like, this guy's got a lot of pressure on him right now. So I just shook his hand and just kept it moving.
What
Man.
is your favorite artist you have toured with? Or is it always just the most recent? You're like, alright.
It's probably the most, honestly. Like,
It's living in the moment.
This has been, so far, the absolute coolest tour we've done in every way possible. I mean, shows are insane.
They have an energy to them.
They have an energy which we feed off of. We're collaborating so much. You know, Eugene comes out and sings with us. We come out and sing with them. We're hanging out all the time. Like, we're just, the energy is, I don't think, can be matched. You know, like, it just keeps getting better and better. So, yeah, man. But, you know, we have a very similar vibe to Gogo Bordeaux. Like, even if stylistically and musically it's not necessarily, like, immediately, you know, like, similar, our vibe is very, very similar. And I think we come from a similar place. And yeah, man, I'm really like just grateful that they invited us out to do this.
We played some shows this summer with the Bouncing Souls.
Oh yeah, those are rad.
We've been on tour with them before. They're one of my favorite bands to tour with.
Totally.
They're just there to make the crowd happy.
Mm-hmm.
They want people to sing their songs and get into their songs, and there's just not a better feeling than seeing them do it. I mean, same thing goes for Gogol.
Yeah.
I have a good Greg little anecdote. They played at a festival here 5 years ago now. Mm-hmm. And end of the set, I just watched Greg jump off this stage that's like 10 feet off, run over, stop security from kicking a kid out.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, that is amazing. Because the security guard thought this kid swung on him. And Greg's like, no, I saw everything. He didn't swing on you. Don't kick him out. And he didn't like go the little long staircase down off the stage. He just jumped off. I'm like, cool. And you're defending your fans.
They're definitely a very thoughtful and caring group of punks.
And then also we got Chris. Just listened to your Punk News podcast. It was really good. Too relatable. Definitely worth listening.
Oh yeah! Shout out to you. Punk News has always been good to us too. Shout out to Punk News.
Punknews.org?
Yeah.
.org.
Yo, I gotta piss. Be right back.
Bathroom break. Not in there.
What are we doing? Next level? Should we wait for him or not? We got any questions in the comments?
And then also, Mr. Buzzer said that's awesome talking about the. Well, that was back there when I brought up the Dinosaur Jr.
Dinosaur Jr., yeah.
And gag moves. Eugene Merman, right? Bob's Burgers, right? He's the voice of the kid.
No idea.
Well, we can see. So wait, what was your first band? So you said he hit you up like a year before.
So
how did that?
Before I played in Crazy in the Brains, I played in a metal band. We were called Herson. We dropped some albums, did some touring, but the metal scene honestly got a little boring, and I wanted to just do more and be involved in more shows and more scenes, and playing in Crazy in the Brains made sense. And so here I am 7 years later, right? We're hanging out in Arizona. Yeah. We played last night
on a weirdly cloudy day.
So we got...
And he's a voice of Bob's Burgers. That's where I know.
The hair care routine. We don't have enough time for this live right now.
What? Is there a routine for hair? Oh.
To get this hair looking this good takes a lot of hours. What you want to do is avoid washing it as long as possible.
Hell yeah.
Build up as much natural oils and like grime and filth as you can, and then hit it up with a wash like once or twice a month, and you're golden. It's a lot of hurry up and waiting.
I never even thought. See, if I don't see like a mohawk or spikes, I'm like, it's everyone's normal hair. I don't think about how much goes into even the longer hair to maintain it.
I wouldn't know anything about that life.
Hair.
Old.
Vanessa says the attention span you have for this game right now is shocking me, Chris. You're on a streak.
I think it's because I'm talking so much.
Chris isn't really the game. Well, no, Chris isn't really. Chris is not at all a gamer in the band.
No.
You grew up with games, but they weren't your jam.
And it's a fun thing because also trying to focus and talk and maybe be decent is a challenge in its own.
I think the talking is making it easier for me to play this game as long as I have been. I don't know why. But yes, the ADD is very real.
Yeah, when this came out, I threw a barbecue little party at my place. Like the week this came out, and we were playing it in our living room, and I don't think you got through like 3 levels.
Nah, bro.
You were like, I'm tapping out.
But I like this game. Like I like the idea of it because it brings me back to being a kid. And I had this game, or was this like arcade game?
This is inspired by it. It's new.
So I didn't have it, but I played it at the arcade. Remember Electric Playground?
Yeah, Electric Playground.
That was an arcade in our hometown.
It's like I only know that for an old video game show.
And even there's so much throwback in this game. Like the level that we played before, it was like Midtown 3 p.m.
Yeah, because they always put times in those levels.
But in the
For some
original
reason.
game, it was Midtown 3 a.m.
I remember Turtles in Time. I had that for Super Nintendo, and I loved it.
I feel like that's what this one's based on a lot. A
Yeah.
lot of this is based on Turtles in Time.
Yeah. That blimp in the background, I had the toy of that. When I was a kid. Turtles were my jam.
It folded out, right? It had a bunch of like things inside and the rooms and pockets.
That was the what's that thing called? Like the something drome, like. What's the big dome that
The
bad guy
Tetradome.
had? Yeah. I had that too.
Terradome.
There you go.
Ooh, that's later on in the game.
I mean, we have. Let's see. We do. I know you guys got to eat somewhere, so I don't know how much longer.
Yeah, we're meeting up with Playboy Man.
With Robbie
I
of Playboy
keep
Man,
messing up
maybe.
the band name, dude. I messed up their band name on stage last night. I called him Playboy Man Bunny.
That's.
And he didn't notice.
He didn't even notice, but I had to be honest. I'm like, bro, I'm very sorry. I fucked up the band name. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I called you Playboy Man Bunny.
I mean, at least everyone in that crowd probably knows them by now. They are one of our.
But it
biggest,
wasn't. It wasn't because I didn't know it. I just was like stumbling my words. I just.
Well, up there.
I talk a lot on stage, so odds are I'm gonna mess up something at some point. He didn't give a fuck though. He was like, dude.
Just roll with it. It's punk rock.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I always like when people are like, man, I fucked up those chords and I fucked up the. I'm like, I didn't. Whatever.
It's funny.
It was like 3 seconds of the song and whatever.
I gotta give us props as performers because any mistake that any of us ever make always looks like we did it on purpose. No one ever like notices when we mess up. Only we do.
Right. That's the artist in you.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to think of. We don't really have any of that like bad mess ups on stage.
There was
I fell off stage once. That was pretty awesome.
There was one time. There's a video of this
What?
on the internet.
Like,
I was trying to jump on this like. It was like this little stoop or like kind of. I thought it was like stairs, I guess, but it wasn't that. It was like it was on wheels. I don't know why it was there, and I slipped on it and I fell on the ground.
oh no.
Also, I tripped over you. Remember?
You tripped over me. Yeah. I was laying on the ground for some reason. You tripped over me and hit your head into the.
Once a mistake, twice an artistic choice.
Who said that?
That was Mr. Buzzo.
That's
My
good.
man. Yeah. We're pretty good at that. No one's really looking for mistakes. You know what I mean? They're just there to have a good time.
Yes.
No one's like critiquing your set.
Unless you just stop the song, I think no one will notice.
Totally.
They're just like, oh, that was the song, right? You were just singing about ice cream. What is your favorite song to play on stage?
Honestly, right now, for me personally, it would be a new song we have, which no one knows unless you see us live. It's called Raw Skin. And
More reason to go out if you haven't.
yes.
If you can, still catch the rest of their tour.
Probably punk rocker and maybe Eastside too, because with Eastside on this tour we've been like teaching the crowd the chorus. So like we'll do like a round of the chorus and sing it for them, so they can get like familiar with how it goes, and then they'll sing it with us. Dang. Oh, man. I don't know. What about you though?
I'm having a lot of fun playing the new one because it's such a different energy.
Yeah.
And Eastside's so much fun to play. Speaking of the remaining tour, if you're in California, that's where we're gonna be up next.
Yeah.
We're gonna be all up and down the West Coast. We got like 5 shows in California: Santa Ana, Ventura, San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco. Then we're gonna be up in Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver. So if you're in any of these areas, come check us out.
Come hang out,
Buy us pizza.
please.
Hey, so does this mean there's new music, a new album coming?
Yeah. So we're in the
Ooh.
studio literally right now. Literally.
At this very moment. These
This
are,
is the studio.
These are you got what you don't even know is you got holograms of
Yeah.
us.
These are holographic representations.
We're actually back in New Jersey.
We're still in Jersey. With Pete, we got like 7 songs down. We'll probably knock out like another 5 maybe. And yeah.
Sweet. I look forward to
we're
that.
gonna
You
put
guys
it
already
out.
have like a bunch of songs in your catalog too. Just digging through and
Yeah, man, we got a comp out right now with like 54 songs on it.
is that,
We're
that a
trying to
good
double that.
Would you
honestly.
recommend that being their starting point if they haven't listened to you?
I've been telling everybody to at the merch table, like, you want to hear us, buy this. 54 songs, $20. It's like everything, almost everything we've done thus far. But like we that's no joke. Like we're trying to double that. Like we just want to put out as much music as we possibly can. Like really dig in and just.
Okay, so Mr. Buzzo is out of Denver. So he's bummed they're not going to see you in Denver this month.
Oh man.
We were in Denver 1 year ago, and it was a rad time.
Yeah,
We played 2 shows. Then we got to see Rancid in Denver on one of our shows too.
Oh yeah.
Denver's a great town.
We got snuck like, not backstage, but like.
We got snuck in to see Rancid.
We got snuck in, yeah. In this like weird little side entrance, like our tour manager pulled the van like literally into the crowd, because he knew people who were working at the venue, and he just snuck us in through the gate, and we saw Rancid. Like, I think we saw their whole set. It's fucking great. They're the OGs. Yeah, man. Denver. We'll be back. Coney Island. Here we go.
What's your road jams right now?
It's all over the place, honestly.
It's
Literally, he like. I most recently was listening to. I put on Bob Dylan, "Bringing It All Back Home." You had like techno on.
I listen to I like to keep our
Techno.
drivers awake.
Yeah.
So I blast like just pulsing thumping techno.
Oh, I was gonna say. Speaking of genre breaking, you should put on Eichler's what they call hyper ska.
What the hell is that?
Is that
It's
like
not like
hyperpop?
auto-tuned ska.
Oh, I love. See, I've been listening. See, I play that stuff in the car. 100 gex.
Is that hyperska? 100 gex?
They have. It's like hyper pop.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
He's mixing hyper pop with ska.
that's cool.
Is what I. He's on Bad Time Records. If you've listened to any of their stuff
Yeah,
or no.
we toured with a keyboard player,
Eric.
Eric Diano, whose band is on
Oh.
Bad Time Records.
What's his band name again?
The Holophonics.
Yes,
Yeah,
Eric is awesome.
he played bass with us and he played keys with us. Shout
He
out to
slept
you,
on this
Eric.
couch.
No shit.
That's that's rad.
He was almost gonna be on this tour, but I couldn't convince him to come. Eric.
He moved to New York too, right?
He's
Yeah.
in New York. Yeah, he was in
That's-
Texas.
They used to be, I think, Denton.
Yeah, he's from Texas. He played bass with us for a tour, and then he played keys with us for another tour. He's the man. Very cool.
You definitely can vouch for him.
We listened to a lot of, one of our favorite songs this tour has been Pull Up by Ice Age.
Oh,
Not a
yeah.
lot of people know that song. It's a cover. And that song's like before shows, just like getting us hyped up in the zone.
I think I saw you guys posting. You have a go-to song you do as your sound check.
We do. We've been doing 90s hip hop like instrumentals. We've been walking out to those.
That works.
Yeah, man. Let them know where we're from.
And I mean, I can even mention, I had an older punker tell me exactly how. It's funnier the whole hip hop thing because he was just like, no, when punk started to fall, people got into like NWA and shit because it was the same messages.
Yeah,
And then
man.
punk rose again and they went back.
Well, people forget, like, these two genres came up together, literally almost at the exact same time, and there was a lot of crossover. There's a lot of crossover with these artists. Clash taking Grandmaster Flash
Yes.
out on the road, right? You got Blondie. I mean, I think the song sucks, but they did Rapture, right? Where they had him, I think it was him, or was it Fab Five Freddy on one of their songs.
Aren't some of the most iconic like things of punk history, like Gilman and CDGB's, also just like were amalgamations of artists of any genre?
All genres.
You mentioned Blondie. I was like, that's right. They just like whoever wanted to play, they kind of brought it in.
I mean, even like sticking on the hip hop thing for a minute, right? Like hip hop DJs, a lot of times would play punk tunes during their sets, or like there was this one song which wasn't really like it was punk.
I guess I need this too.
But you remember Malcolm McLaren, the Sex Pistols manager, right? He had his own music, and they would play that shit at like hip hop parties and stuff because it was danceable. Like these two genres have always been intertwined.
Similar minded and everything.
Yeah, it was like rebel music, you know. It was like
I don't fit in anywhere else.
Exactly. I mean, hip hop is punk rock. If you think about how it started, you know what I mean? Like it was literally not recognized or respected as a musical genre for years. Even when it started to get popular, like record labels wouldn't call it music. They would just consider it something else that they could just. All right, we don't know what this is, but we know we can make money off of it.
Freddie.
So like, damn.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that means.
But yeah, man, blending of genres is definitely a good time.
Also, a shout out, Holophonics are going to be in Denver with Younger Than Neil, and then I fly on December 3rd. So
Cool.
Eric will be in Denver, at least.
Cool.
All really good bands. I've had the opportunity to watch all of them.
Our keyboard player right now, her name is Allie. She's in a ska band that you might be familiar with. They're called Stop the Presses.
Also very good. They came through...
Oh, you know them. Okay, cool, yeah.
They came through with the Pilfers last time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing.
My memory recall is apparently really good when on the spot playing video games. Because
Hell yeah.
having fatigue and long COVID has been... That's killing my memory, or killing recall of stuff. So I'm like, hell yeah, we're doing this. Now I've jinxed it though.
Yee-hee. Wait, who's Casey Jones?
Me.
Oh shit.
Have you been like pressing it going, alright, I'm kicking ass?
I've been Casey Jones this whole time.
This guy I remember too.
Leatherhead. I know we probably want to try to play it all, but I know you guys gotta go. It's, I don't know, 1:45.
Yeah, we can bounce whenever.
Okay.
I gotta get some food in my system.
We've got, what, 2 more? I'm trying to remember how many stages are left in this game.
I think it's like 16 in all.
Oh, we might have a way to go then.
So we might have like 7 or 8 if we're trying to get through it. But yeah, we're hanging out here for a few more minutes.
At least till the rain comes. It's the dark clouds apparently show through my window here.
My 60-year-old mother just asked her Alexa to play trending music, and
What?
Crazy in the Brain's punk rocker came up.
Woo! Hell yeah.
That's good. So we are not punk rock anymore. We're officially adult contemporary rock.
Finally.
Finally.
Oh, and the Freddy reference was Fab Five Freddy was on Rapture with Blondie.
There you go. Yo, another interesting little note. Blondie, the drummer, is from our hometown. He's from Bayonne,
New Jersey.
Clem Burke.
Nice.
So,
Hit him up for a tour.
you know who else is from Bayonne? George R.R. Martin.
Does RR stand for railroad? I've heard that.
Bro, you know better than me. I'm not a Game of Thrones is cool. I like the new show. I didn't watch the original one.
I've only watched like 7 episodes.
I'm not like Ernest is more up on all this stuff than me. Like video games.
That is one that I keep seeing pop up and go, I should give another chance to. Or maybe do the books.
Yeah. You give it a whirl and tell me how it is.
I can't wait to play Casey Jones in this game, Shadow Pain 69.
Hell yeah.
You just gotta beat the game once with any character. You get Casey Jones. It's awesome. Keep doing it. It's not a hard game.
Yes. And then
Hell yeah.
next tour with Carly Simon and James Taylor. Is that what you guys want to do?
Sure.
Absolutely. Sign us up.
We talk about this a lot. Like who wouldn't we tour with? And I feel like we would tour with almost anybody. know what I mean? It's just
I mean, even Less Than Jake played with like Snoop Dogg. So
what?
I think
They
that
played
was
with Snoop Dogg? Nah. We need to play with Snoop Dogg.
They did a show with some hip hop, and I was like looking at it, going, first off, I don't think I'm going to pay $70 for this. But second of all, that's a little
cool.
pricey for me.
I remember.
But I was just like, man, what does the crowd look like when they're watching Less Than Jake play first?
See, no offense to them, but I feel like Snoop Dogg fans would like us a lot more. Snoop Dogg used to have a show on MTV called Doggy Fizzle Television, and he had the transplants on the show. I don't know if you guys
Really?
saw that. Yeah. It
Well,
was really
transplants mixed hip hop with
Yeah.
punk rock also. They get away with it because Tim Armstrong
Oh hell yeah.
and Travis and
They both.
they have pull that
Tim,
no one
Tim
cares.
is a genius when it comes to blending those styles. Travis too.
And then we're playing it on Switch right now.
We're playing it on Switch. On
Are
my
we done?
Let's be done with the game. We'll chat for a little bit more.
We can do that. We can go.
Yeah, we're playing on Switch. We're playing on my tour Switch because I love touring with the Switch.
There you go.
That's the best downtime on tour. It's either loud noises or stuck in my video game.
That was the longest I've played video games in like 20 years.
Over an hour.
Shadow Pants is only here for video game content. That's fine.
That's-
Whatever you're
we're
here
on
for,
Twitch.
that's
That's why.
why. That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Play with Action Bronson and bring him to Sunday dinner. We got it.
Hell yeah.
We got it.
I love action.
Action Bronson in your parents' house? That would be amazing.
Yo. I feel like you'd want to cook though.
DIY space.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I will allow
Those
Action
are some of the
Bronson
best
to cook.
shows of DIY spaces.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Though, unfortunately, ours is, well, with, I think everywhere, 2020 hurt. Though a few more house shows are popping up, house venues in around here.
We haven't played a DIY spot in a minute. I'm trying to think of the last one that we may have played.
I don't know if it's like purely well, it's not a house spot. It's kind of a DIY spot. It's an art space, Philomoka.
Oh
in
yeah.
Philly.
Okay. It's like, you know, that's owned by Diplo though. Remember there was the Mad Decent sign?
Yeah, it's a tiny space though. It's like kind of DIY. They do weird stuff there.
Yeah. It's like an art. It's like an artist space.
It's not. I wouldn't call it independent or DIY, but it's like
Yeah.
a tiny art space.
That's probably as close as a DIY space as you.
Oh, you have the same. He has the same Pro controller. You know this little secret message underneath, right? Which now I'm blanking on what it is, and it's too bright and tiny for me to look right at. That does a good branching off point, though. What are some of your favorite venues you played around the country?
The Orpheum in Tampa Bay.
Yes.
The Orpheum is super cool. The Metro in Chicago.
Oh, that was legendary.
That is legendary. I know that
Why-
one
we
even without
played that.
visiting Chicago.
We played that twice. That was like unreal.
We played most recently with the Tossers on St. Patrick's Day, which was insane. And we played with Leftover Crack and Negative Approach, which is also crazy.
Yeah, Leftover Crack played the Metro in Chicago.
Yeah, insane. What else?
Weird.
Bogarts in Cincinnati was cool.
Bogarts is since that was awesome.
People fuck with us in Cincinnati. I think.
What? Why?
I don't know. Well,
Or how? I guess it would be the better.
You've been there a lot.
I played there solo like in the early days, and I think we just kind of established like a relationship with people over there, so people come out for us. Kane's Ballroom was dope.
Also, what is it? The Cincinnati chili or the Streetlight chili, right? Is that their
I don't know.
food? Yeah.
Probably.
I have no
It's not
idea.
pizza.
Yeah, it's not pizza. We're ignorant. We're so ignorant
Yep.
to anything that isn't pizza.
What is one of the craziest stories on the road touring that you can think?
Oh man, dude, we have so many.
What's the craziest bathroom story? Does that narrow it down?
Well, the year that we were
Fuck with us is a good thing in New Jersey. Holly Ranch.
Oh, he's trying to explain what I meant by that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
when we were driving to Las Vegas from New Jersey, and it was a 4-day drive, and just a lot went wrong on that drive. We lost a tire mid-ride.
Yeah.
And that was at like 4 a.m. in Ohio.
Oh no! So what? Half the van is asleep.
So the van had to get towed, but the towing company couldn't take the trailer. So a few of us like ran the trailer down the highway into a mall parking lot. And then me and Zach just
hung with it.
We hung out with it from like 4 a.m. to like noon. When the van got like fixed and the tire got replaced, and that was the start of a 4-day drive. Then we got to Vegas and we basically pulled up to the Laura Jane Grace and Playboy Man Baby show. Mm-hmm. So you saw us like
right off of
like a 70-hour drive.
And that's where I formally met you. You introduced yourself, and that was awesome. And I was like in already the exhausted of like zone of just the days and first festival in 2 years or a year and a half. That was a really good just combo of everything. It was you guys, our local Playboy Man Baby, Grumpster, Laura Jane Grace.
Yeah. There was some band Dracula's or something like that.
Dracula's, which Mike is another amazing man up front.
That was for us. That was Zach's
and a giant dog.
Oh yeah, giant dog. They're cool.
Giant dog.
They have energy. That was my first time watching them, and I was just like blown away by their energy.
That was for us though. That was Zach's second show with us ever. Was
punk rock.
bowling. Yeah.
And I saw you 3 times over that whole weekend between that main stage and then literally the day back here in Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
It was 3 shows back to back. Yeah, I mean that Phoenix show. That's a fun story because we were kind of like wasting time all day getting to Phoenix, and then we pull up to the venue and they're like, "Oh, you guys play in 30 minutes," and I'm like, "Well, I don't have guitar strings, so we can't do that." So then I saw you outside. I recognized you, and I was like, "Hey, do you have a car?" And you were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Cool, you got to drive me to Guitar Center right now." And every Guitar Center was closed in Phoenix, and so we ended
Sunday
up
nights.
At your place, you had spare guitar strings.
Yes,
we
coincidentally, I had the exact string.
And then we went to play the show. That was like,
oh man,
that's
how we roll, baby.
And then you kept going on tour. I was just like, all right, I'm done for like a week.
Yeah, that was the first 3 days of a 6-week tour.
Oh man, so it got better from there.
So we were already at like
wit's end.
We were already peaking on the first like the moment we left our house.
Not a good sign.
But we had no other problems. It's like all the problems
were front loaded.
We got them out of the way in the beginning.
Yeah.
Van fucked up like first day.
No problem.
Fixed the problem, and then everything was Gucci after that.
That tour was awesome. That was with Days and Days and Bridge City Sinners.
Yeah, shout out to them.
That was another like I kind of formally met Jesse. Mm-hmm. I apparently have a reputation. I don't always think I have a reputation. And just like he knew who I was and hugged me, I was like, "Oh shit, this is cool."
They're really good people, nice people.
Yeah,
they've always supported us really well.
Him and also Escape from the Zoo, his other band. And
we toured with them too.
We toured with them. That was great.
That is also another like amalgamation. Like they bring in ska with the folk punk mix, and I'm like, this is so cool. Why is no one else doing this? But also, props to you guys for doing it.
Yeah,
they've got their own unique thing going on. Jesse's a great songwriter, and his band is awesome.
And that's
he's another one who would jump out and sing punk rocker with us.
Yeah, they like to do random covers, and they don't give a shit if it's pop punk or wherever they're pulling it from. And I'm like, are they playing Blink-182? I think they're playing Blink-182.
They keep it going.
Yeah, they would do their cover songs and play like Sum 41 and Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
In the same go. And it's like,
was it Fat Lip or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm like, they listen to a lot of shit. And also, I've been praising all these people about their awesome frontmanship, but you are fucking amazing. I don't know if that's been since just losing a guitar and handing it over, or if it was just always you were running around and just hanging off the stage and
I think
getting people involved.
Yeah, I've always that's always been important to me, like the showmanship and like the importance of entertaining. and not just,
Yeah.
going up there and just boring
Like,
people to death.
Even I was looking through to prepare for this and looking at my old photos of you. The one where you're sitting off the side giant stage at Punk Rock Bowling singing.
Yeah. It's important to all of us to like put on a show. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's why do you go to a show? You want to escape your regular life. You want to be entertained. It's
And it's
like,
infectious.
yeah.
And I even see you moving around with them and everything and across the band, but also with the crowd. If they see you moving, they're like, well, as long as they're into it, they will be moving. They it affects everyone.
It's a community experience. You know what I mean? It's an interactive experience. It's not meant to be like. We don't want that separateness from like performer to crowd, right? We want to bring you into the experience.
That's one of the draws of punk rock in general.
We'll see you in Philly. You're gonna be in Philly, right? You're going to work.
Hell yeah.
Latina saying thanks. She's heading to work.
Yeah,
they're heading to work.
We want to connect to the crowd because, like, I'm thinking back to like the best shows I went to as a kid, as like a teenager, was like the ones that the band connected with you, and it's like, I feel this, I feel what's going on in this room, and we want to do that. Like, we know how important shows were to us. Like,
what do you think the best live shows that you went to are, like, coming up?
Oh, I'm hoping I can get out to Anti-Flag with We Are the Union and Dollskin and all of them.
Anti-Flag was a good one for me. I saw that band a lot coming up. Them.
Descendants, even Milo still somehow has this energy when he's up there singing. And, well, that whole band, they just look like they're happy.
We're gonna be with them in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
That I'm jealous.
I actually sent them a message on Instagram, although I don't think they run their Instagram page. Maybe they do. But I was like, yo, we're gonna be at the show with you guys. I hope we can meet you. Like
I think it's their label that runs it.
Probably, yeah. That's okay. Well, I'm sure we'll run into him at some point.
Milo, thankfully, pre-2020, ran into him at Punk Rock Bowling and got a selfie that way. Because now I'm like, this is probably weird again, right? To try and go up to people and hug them or try and do that type of thing.
Yeah, I hope you get a chance to meet them.
Egerton, like, all of them are just happy people.
I mean, I feel like the best artists are the ones that don't lose their appreciation for this,
It's not just like a day job or
nah, and they don't, you stay grounded and you just literally stay appreciative of this culture, because that
and smart about it. Like, they know not to play. They've stopped playing certain songs. They've changed the lyrics when they perform certain songs live, knowing that the meanings of things back when they originally wrote them, they're like, no, this isn't good anymore.
Yeah, contextually things change. I mean, we're with Gogol Bordello every night, and Eugene Hoots has a huge following. Like, people really love that guy. People adore him.
He does so much. Even he went and did that show, secret show in Ukraine and everything. Like, he does so much for everyone.
He's never too busy to have a conversation with a fan.
No.
He's someone, whether it's before the show or after the show, someone wants to talk to him about like music or Ukraine or whatever's on their mind. Like, he just listens, and that says a lot about to how he came up, like in punk and music, and it's really cool to see and inspiring to see a guy like that still being like, he could easily be so jaded and not care about anything, but he isn't. He's so enthusiastic about like music and
even
talking to people.
He treats the whole band treats us, right?
Yeah.
They treat us like equal, and like they're as interested in us as we are in them, And I think that
Respect goes a long way.
it really does, yeah. And that's how we try to be too, like remain grateful for the opportunity to get to do this,
Yeah, I'm still thinking about shit. Since I've been going through this, I haven't been going out as much. I'm like now trying to think what other stuff's coming up. The one in my brain is that Anti-Flag show. I can't go back.
Yeah, I mean, they're a perfect example. Rancid, Interrupters, like...
They put on a clinic.
bands that bring you into the experience, you know, and like
Yeah.
make you go. I mean, anytime I've seen those bands, and I've seen most of those bands you just mentioned a lot, you walk away feeling really good and
Well,
happy.
even like I mentioned off camera that I had the photo pass for Rise Against, and I was there more because I was like stoked to get pictures of Descendants, but even Rise Against, you leave going, they like what they're doing. They're having fun. Zach, who also plays in Dracula's, like, he is just emoting and having fun, doing what he's doing, no matter what band he's in.
Yeah, man.
And Mike, Riverboat Gamblers come back to Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Everything he's involved with are just fun. I think he's just having fun. And technically, I think he's a comedian. If you want to book one of his bands with you, technically have Mike do a little stand-up in between.
Yeah, fuck this. Dude, we love stand-up comedy. Let's bring it. Let's do it. Hell yeah.
But I think it's 1 o'clock, and you guys want to get food in, and you got something to run to anyways.
Yeah. Anything else in the comments? Any more questions? We'll be here for like 2 more minutes. And then we gotta...
While we're doing that, anything you
wash
want to
our
plug? Of course, the tour with Go-Go Bordello is still going. California, Pacific Northwest. Upcoming album forthcoming.
We'll be on the West Coast for the next 2 weeks, hitting up a bunch of spots in California, the Observatory, the Belasco, what else, the Warfield or something like that? Is that a venue?
Revolution Hall in Oregon.
Portland. So we'll be on the road with Go-Go for the next 2 weeks or so. We'll be with them back home, either in Philly or New York, so look out for that. We'll be in the DR with Iggy Pop and Go-Go Bordello and Shame and Descendants. That's in January, right? January or February?
The DR is in January.
End of January.
And that festival's February?
Or maybe. Look it up.
Yeah. You'll find it.
It's called Destination Chaos. Iggy Pop is on it.
Or follow their social media. They're Crazy in the Brains on Facebook. Crazy the Brains on Twitter, I know.
Listen to us on Spotify.
And
run our numbers up. Make us rich.
While you sleep, just put it on loop.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, and we'll be having new music coming out very soon.
January, the chat comes through.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, right now, just a big shout out to Go-Go Bordello for having us out on this run. They've treated us amazing. The shows have been amazing.
Pick up their new album as well. It's a really important album.
It has some ska tunes underneath it.
Yes,
there you go.
If you're in,
always love to
I'm pretty sure
influence.
Go-Go fans are already in for it all.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. This is awesome, and it was good to just see you guys.
Yeah.
Right on.
Once again.
Right on.
So hopefully next time I will have the energy to also get out to the shows.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But I guess that's it. No more comments. And so until whenever the next time I'm going to stream. Later, everyone.